Hello, you gorgeous little darlings and little sparkles of wonderfulness. How are you doing? Today I am talking about two things. I'm talking about the gifts that we are going to be given, the extra powers, the superpowers as we move on through our new little timeline. And also I'm going to be talking about whether I am seeding division by talking about the split. I'll tell you all about it on the other side. Before we start, just a bit of local news. Couldn't get any more local. It's about me. This is my second day of doing a fast. Today is Tuesday and it's midday, and I started on Sunday at 6 o'clock, and I'm going to finish tomorrow at 1 o'clock, and that's going to be a very enjoyable meal. So I'm fasting for 3 days. It's a little bit more than 3 days, but I haven't done it for about a year, so I thought it's time. Would you believe that this time it hasn't been so bad? There's been points this morning where I could have eaten my own arm, but in general it's been pretty good. So I'm really chuffed, and I think it's good just every now and again for a bit of a cleanse, that's all. So what are these gifts that we're going to be given? I asked the emissaries, what is it as we go on, how are we going to change? And they said, the first thing they said was dreams. And they said, this is something that's happening now. And boy, is it happening to me. I don't know whether you're having a similar experience, but my dreams are absolutely wild. They're fantastic. They've completely changed. For 20 years, 30 years, let's say, I have worked in my previous job on a night time. If I could get paid for the hours that I put in my dreams, I'd be very rich. So I just worked in a factory. It was always the same theme. Working in a factory, nobody wanted to work, nobody would do any work, nothing was being done, and it was all my responsibility. I've had that for 25 years. And then suddenly it stopped. Suddenly all these weird kind of dreams are happening. The other day, a group of people were teaching me a new language. It was just incredible. And I see in the comments that other people are talking about dreams and how the dreams are changing. And the emissary said that the dreams are going to become more vivid and more memorable as we go on. Okay? So lots of people are noticing the same thing. And I think more people are going to notice it. It's just part of our shift. Also, the emissary said that we're going to have new understandings. And what they said is that we're going to see an increase in our intuition and an increase in our discernment. Because as the Bible says, do not be misled. Okay, misled. Don't be misled. And it's ever so important these days for us not to be misled. We mustn't be misled. And that's what the emissaries say that we're going to have. Extra discernment and extra intuition. And they said, we will intuit instantly when we meet somebody who is on our wavelength, and when we meet somebody who isn't on our wavelength, we will get a sense really, really quickly. Now, I know it's easy when you meet somebody who's awakened, but you need to have a bit of a conversation. You need to at least talk about, general, how are you doing, blah, 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 and what do you think about? Then you know whether they're awake or not. But what the emissaries are saying is that we're going to just feel it. We're just going to meet somebody and go, wow, you're in my team, or wow, you are not in my team. And they went on to say that we'll notice it because we'll be instantly attracted to people who are on our wavelength. There'll be an attraction, not a physical attraction, but it's like I like this person. But on the other side, they said that we will be instantly repulsed. That was their word, not mine. Repulsed by the people who aren't on our wavelength, just purely because of a synergistic thing happening. Like we're either in the same wavelength or we're not. And that we're going to find that the people who aren't on our wavelength are they're not resonating with us, and they make us feel bad, uncomfortable, etc. And those who are resonating with us make us feel super cool and wonderful, and we want to give them a hug. So It's just the division happening more and more. It's just the distance getting wider and wider. And this is what we're going to have to come to terms with. And this is what's going to happen. And this brings me to my next point. I have had some comments, not many, but some comments about saying, you're talking about a split. There's enough division in this world. You're just making it worse by creating a polarity, as if I were creating it, me. And so I thought, well, let's see what the emissaries say, So I threw that to them and I said, look, some people are saying that talking about a split and a divide is actually creating a division, and we don't need that in this world. What do you say to that? And what they said is this: whether you like it or not, that's what they said to me, whether we like it or not, the division has been spoken about for as long as man has existed. And in the Bible, how many divisions does it talk about? The wheat from the chaff, the sheep from the goats, I'm a goat, the sheep from the goats, the wineskins, the new wineskins, the old wineskins. It's just, there's always been this division. Now, what they've tried to do is to piggyback, the baddies I'm talking about, is piggyback that division and make it multiple. So we've got divisions everywhere. What the emissary said is no, there are two different paths, and there always have been. Oh, and the other one that they said, one will be taken, one will be left behind. That's what they said. From the Bible, they were quoting the Bible. But what they were saying is this, that this division is actually very fair. It's a fair thing. And what they said is that whichever side you've chosen to be on, whichever path you've chosen to be on, does not mean that those on the other path are bad. That's what they're saying. It's not a judgment, even though that word is used a lot, but it's not a judgment. What they said is that some people have chosen to go on that path, and some people have chosen to go on this path. And they said far better that this choice, because they said unfairness would be everybody going to Agenda 2030 and beyond. Everybody. That would be unfair. Equally, it would be unfair to say everybody has to go to the new earth and all the beautifulness. That would equally be unfair, because some people don't want to do it. Some people haven't planned to do it. Some people have a different plan. Wouldn't be mine. It wouldn't be mine. But some people, and maybe it has been in the past, have a feeling that we've all gone down that path in the past. But my choice is the other path, the good path, the one with you all, up toward the light and the bright and the beautiful and the wonderful and the paradise and everything. And so the emissary said, they finished by saying, there must be a split. There is no choice. It's not optional. Because we're going in two different directions, there are two choices. There are two paths to take. And so there must be a split. But as I said, it doesn't mean that one is worse than the other. Probably, as I've said before, the feeling that I get is that people who are choosing to go down that horrible path, well, better man than me gunga din. That's what I would say. As they say here in Spain, con dos cojones. Like, wow, you need balls to go down there. And those who are going to the light, well, that's just, it's their turn. And so, hey, I would be very interested in knowing, and you can put this in the comments, if there's anybody who watches this who gets the feeling that they're going on the other path, even though they're completely awake and they know everything that's going on, they still get the sense that they're going to see this out. They're going to go through the whole thing. The reason I ask that is because I don't know if you remember Sal, the guy who every now and again I have a conversation with. He said exactly that. I am not going. He was talking about going up in a spaceship, but all of that is, for me, it's this way. We're going this way. And he said, no, he's staying because his job is to work with those who are staying to help to save them. So I don't know. I don't think we're all going on that path. Imagine being awake, knowing everything, and going down that path. Wow, that's an achievement that is not for the faint-hearted. And, you know, I mean, it's bad enough now, isn't it? Like, we're awake, we're seeing all of this, and the Epstein drop, Epstein, who cares? The Epstein drop is ruffling a few feathers, isn't it? I notice there's a lot of people who are having to resign, and I wonder if there's going to be more of that. Very interesting times. We are in the most fascinating, breathtaking roller coaster times at the moment. We really are. And it was foretold. You know, it was foretold, the great revelation. It's going to be a bumpy ride. There's going to be a lot. We're going to watch Babylon the Great fall and splatter. And it's just awesome to watch. It really is just awesome to watch. It's a lovely time. No wonder we all fought to get here, to be here on this timeline, to see all of this. What an experience. An experience of a soul time rather than a lifetime. This is the lifetime experience, but I think it's the experience of our soul time as well. I don't think it gets much better than this. But hey, that's just my opinion. What do you think? So put in the comments if you think that you might be staying to see it through to the bitter end. And if you are, you get my thumbs up. I approve of that, but I'm not going to do it myself. I'll just say that again, but I'm not going to do that. You do understand. And I don't know whether I'm trying to convince myself or convince my guides or whatever, but no, I'm going that way. That way, thank you very much. Along with all of you, I imagine, or the vast majority of you. I love you all, and I'll speak to you all later. Have a lovely weekend. Bye-bye.